Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Kano Tryharding Modern. Today we will be playing more Tron. Now, I've made some adjustments to the sideboard, just minor adjustments, I think. I dropped one relic because we have Tormod's Crypt, Grafdigger's Cage, and Relic of Progenitus. I know having multiple relics was probably so we could side them in and have some in the main deck versus a deck like Dredge, but I don't really think that that's necessary, really. So I dropped a relic for a Sundering Titan. I also went down to 3 Nature's Claim and raised up to 3 Veil of Summer. My logic behind that basically is, when I was sideboarding with this deck before, frequently it only felt good to take out about 3 cards at a time. So we're going to basically swap up to a configuration where we can bring in 3 cards at a time easier. And other than that, it's Tron. So let's go ahead and take this into another Modern League. Didn't really feel like doing that much more of a deck tech today. I'm pretty tired. Had a pretty hard lifting session earlier, and I'm recording later in the day. I was actually so tired when I got home I took a nap, and it helped, but it didn't help enough. So that's where I'm at right now. Alrighty, round 1. I would like to play first. That hand will not work. Neither will this one. So we're going to 5. Do we go to 4? Man, I don't think we go to 4. Put back a sphere and another sphere. Alright, we'll start Power Plant. Dopey wants me to throw his toy for him. So if you hear any clattering in the background, that's what that is. Alright. My opponent did also mulligan to 6. They're starting a Wooded Foothills. We untap. We draw Oblivion Stone. Alright. Sack Star for green. Hope to draw a Tron land that isn't Urza's Power Plant. It's another star. Play a forest. Sylvan Scrying. We'll get an Urza's Mine. Pass the turn. Man, with how bad my mulligans have been lately, I kind of want to meme a Tron list and play Serum Powder, just to see if we can get it to work. I don't know if that would be good, but it might be fun. Okay, you can't be dropping stuff on my headphone cable, dude. It would appear that I'm against Burn, maybe? Yep, looked like Burn. We untap. We draw another Oblivion Stone. I hate to say it, but I think we gotta take some damage off of Eidolon here. So play Star. Sack Star for green. Ugin. Alright. Pass the turn. When it goes to their main, plays a Fiery Islet. They cast a Swift Spear, they take some damage. Is this a Lightning Helix, maybe? It's a Lightning Helix. So they take 2, then gain 3. We take 3, and then they're going to deal some damage. Our best top deck would be Urza's Tower, because then we could play Ugin, or we could play and crack Oblivion Stone and answer the whole board. We would definitely go with Ugin, given the option, because Ugin would not trigger Eidolon, so we'd save ourselves 2 life. And my beard is looking particularly huge today. Opponent hits us for 4. We go to 11. Alright, we untap. Tower. Dang. Play Sphere. Take damage. Sack Sphere for green. We draw Blast Zone. Play Blast Zone. Play Oblivion Stone, but we're taking too much damage here. I think our opponent's got us this game. And that's alright, that's bound to happen sometimes. I do wish I had a Weather the Storm in the side. Okay, opponent plays another Swift Spear. Damages themselves. Opponent sacks a Sunbaked Canyon to draw. Plays an Arid Mesa. I mean, I'm dead to a single Lightning Bolt, so... Another Swift Spear. Alright, so I'm not technically dead to this attack, but I am going to 2. We need tower or a land to survive. And I mean, we're dead to literally any spell. Alright, we untap. Alright, we'll keep fighting the good fight, but I think it's over. I should have technically waited until combat in case they only had haste creatures and lands in their hand. But they just shoot us and we die, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, we were dead. Alright. So game 2 versus Burn. I feel like we can probably bring in Walking Ballista, drop an Ulamog. And I'm going to bring in, I think, a couple of Nature's Claims. And I'm going to drop 1 Oblivion Stone and 1 Dismember. Dismember still can be important, but most of the time we're going to be losing too much life off of it for it to be good. Like, we have to hit like a maximum size Monastery Swift Spear to actually profit on the life loss. So it's kind of a tough situation to be in. Obviously, we're teched out of the sideboard for Control with Veil of Summer, Artifact Hate with Nature's Claim, and Grave Hate as our other tech of choice with Relic Grafdigger's Cage, and Tormod's Crypt, as well as having a Wishboard. If I was in a heavy aggro metagame, I would probably have some Weather the Storms, Spatial Contortions, that sort of thing. We'll play first. I mean, it's a turn 4 Tron, so we're going to keep. I will probably play Forest on turn 2, unless we top deck Power Plant. So start Urza's Mine. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play an Inspiring Vantage into a Swift Spear. They hit us for 1. We go to 19. Untap. Alright, we drew Power Plant, so we are on the Monotron hand. So let's hope that Karn Liberated can do something. Like, if my opponent kept a 1-lander, we'll Stone Rain them. If they didn't, we'll probably take out a threat. We could also take out a land, because we're going to force our opponent to have to answer Karn, probably, with a Bolt. And then we can follow him up with Ugin. Alright, opponent plays a Goblin Guide. And Lava Spikes us. So we're taking 7 this turn and going to 12. Alright. We untap, draw Karn, play Urza's Tower, play Karn. I don't really think we have a choice. I think we have to hit Swift Spear. If they bolt Karn, then Karn also gained us 3 life. I'm a little sad I can't just go maximum value out of Ugin, but... Alright, another Goblin Guide. Play another haste creature, please. Alright. Karn gained us life. Oh, please, just like Monastery Swift Spear me here. No bolts. Suspend Rift Bolt, okay. So they're going to hit us for 4. We're going to go to 8. Rift Bolt will come down, knock us down to 5. Goblin Guide reveals what we're drawing Dismember. We take 4, go to 8. Untap. Draw Dismember. So we're still probably dead. But we have a chance. I think without Worm Coil, it might be hopeless, but... Alright, pass the turn. We're at a virtual 5 right now, and my opponent is going to have 2 cards in hand. We're dead to basically any two spells they can have, we're dead to. It's never a good sign when your Planeswalker has more loyalty counters than your life total. Lava Spike, Eidolon. Well, Eidolon doesn't kill us, but it's very close. We untap, draw an Expedition map, uptick Ugin, Sylvan Scrying. I'm gonna get a Blast Zone. Then I'm gonna play Blast Zone, play Expedition map with the floating mana, and pass. And this saves me from my opponent top decking a Goblin Guide exactly, but basically nothing else. There's an argument to be made like, oh, maybe I should have played Karn, down-ticked on a land, but like, what is my opponent top decking that doesn't kill us if they're not top decking another land? So, there's the bolt. Alright, well, that is unfortunate. but we are not currently teched to play against a very fast aggro, so that might warrant a sideboard switch in the near future. Either way, I'll see you guys in round 2. Alright, I'll play first. Yeah, I think that's going to be a mulligan. I'm not getting the good hands today. I think I can risk this. We really just need a second land. And if we get a Tron land in the next 2 draws that isn't Tower, we have Tron that way. Okay, Ancient Stirrings, sack for green, Sanctum. Alright, so somebody yelled at me for being in this exact situation and not using my Sylvan Scrying to go get a forest. My opponent is on some kind of Verdant Catacombs Jund deck, so it might be a bit before we assemble Tron anyway. I do not want to do this, but with 2 Ancient Stirrings, I don't really think I have a choice. We'll go get a forest, pass the turn. Opponent sacks Verdant. It's a Blood Crypt tapped, so they're probably not Death Shadow. Opponent plays a forest. Into a Tarmogoyf. We untap, get an Oblivion Stone, play a forest, Ancient Stirrings. There's an Urza's Mine. Or I can take the Sphere and try again. Probably just take the Mine, right? Alright, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Blackcleave Cliffs. They play a Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. So we're going to discard an Oblivion Stone. Goyf is now a 4/5. They hit us for 4. We go to 16, untap, get a Wormcoil. Ancient Stirring. More Urza's Mine. Take an Expedition map, rest to the bottom. Play Urza's Mine, play Expedition map, pass the turn. Longest Tron assembly ever, it feels like. Opponent plays a Verdant Catacombs, cracks Verdant Catacombs for a snow-covered forest. They go to combat, attack us for 4, take 4, go to 12. Opponent plays a Scavenging Ooze and passes. So let's go get our power plant. Does opponent have Assassin's Trophy? They do. Alright, we untap, draw Sphere, play Power Plant, play Sphere, sack Sphere for green, we draw Tower, play Oblivion Stone, pass the turn. So next turn we're going to have 10 mana. Opponent plays a Bloodstained Mire, opponent cracks Bloodstained Mire, gets a Snow-Covered Swamp, Assassin's Trophy's Oblivion Stone, alright. Then they play Seasoned Pyromancer, discard 1 card and draw 2. They discarded a Fatal Push. They hit us for 7, we go to 5. We untap, draw Ancient Stirring. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ancient Stirring. Ulamog kind of does something. And we can play him. Play Tower, play Ulamog, nuke the 2 most problematic creatures. And I am going to sack Sanctum. And I'm going to go get another Ulamog, I think. Well, no. Maybe I do want another Ulamog. Alright. Ulamog resolves. Opponent untaps. I mean, we're dead to several things here. Bloodbraid, I think, is one of them. They hit Inquisition. So they can Inquisition us, but they can't take anything. And I guess we're not 100% dead to Bloodbraid, but we would be dead to Bloodbraid and Lightning Bolt. Opponent attacks. Block here. Take 3, go to 2. Untap and draw Wormcoil Engine. Play Wormcoil Engine. Play Karn. We're gonna wish for... We don't have any creatures in the grave. It's not likely that they're gonna need theirs, but... I'm gonna get Tormod's Crypt and exile Kroxa. The question is, do I attack or not? I think attacking actually leaves me dead to more things, so I have to leave Ulamog on defense. But we're probably just dead to Lightning Bolt anyway. Opponent untaps, they draw. They play a Verdant Catacombs. Another Tarmogoyf. They pass the turn. We untap. Draw Karn Liberated. Go to combat. Attack with both. Exile half their deck. Well, we got 2 Lightning Bolts. I was gonna say, if they don't block, we just get Walking Ballista and kill them. Opponent Fatal pushes their own Wormcoil Engine. They go down to 7. So we wish, and we get a Walking Ballista. Play another Wormcoil. Play Walking Ballista. Guess I could have done this pre-combat, but opponent may have played differently. They're dead if we can just attack again anyway, so they have to top deck Bolt here, pretty sure. Opponent fetches Stomping Ground, So that's why... Oh, never mind. They play Nurturing Peatland. They're digging hard. Cycle Nurturing Peatland. Play Seasoned Pyromancer. They draw 2 more cards. I mean, yeah, when your opponent... That's so frustrating. Opponent just gets to draw 5 cards until they find the card we need. Or they need. That's so lame. I'm going to bring in Veil. I'm going to drop Walking Ballista. 1 Oblivion Stone. And 1 Worm Coil. I might want to wish for a Worm Coil. I don't think Veil of Summer is particularly good versus discard, but it was used pretty effectively the last time I played discard. So, I mean, we're going to try it. I feel like I don't try it enough. And yes, things like Relic, Tormod's Crypt would be absolutely fine to play. Because they do have Tarmogoyfs and they do have Kroxa. This hand is terrible. Man, I don't know what it is about Tron lately, but it does not particularly want me to get Tron. Now, I have 2 cycles and a Sylvan Scrying here, so I could start Mind Sphere. If I get Inquisition, they'll take Scrying. I don't really want to go super low, so I'm going to try this again. We'll start Mind Star, pass the turn, but it plays Overgrown Tomb. Inquisition, so there goes Scrying. We untap, we draw a tower, cycle Star for green, get a Karn, play a tower, play Sphere, and I'm going to resist the urge to cycle Sphere immediately. Opponent plays a Wooded Foothills, cracks Wooded Foothills, plays a Blood Crypt, plays Goyf. Alright, we untap, we draw a Dismember, so cycle for green, Sylvan Scrying, get Power Plant. He's done it. Play Power Plant, Dismember Goyf. Pass the turn. I was like, I could cycle for black and then cheapen my Dismember, but we basically need to cycle Star for green in case we draw. Oh, they just can't beat a Worm Coil. Alright. Cool. Run it back. Yeah, I almost cycled for black there. Just so I didn't have to pay so much life to Dismember, but I was like, we have plenty of life right now, and if I draw a green card, I'm going to look really silly. And guess what? I drew a green card. So, what's that teach you? Yeah, we got better 6s, even versus a hand with hand hate. Alright, I am going to keep this, and I'm going to put back Expedition Map. My logic here is even if I get Inquisitioned, I have a basically Inquisition-proof hand. Okay, they fetch a tapped Blood Crypt on their own turn. Oof. Alright, sweet. Start Power Plant Star, pass the turn. Opponent plays a 1-2 Goyf. We untap and draw Ulamog. Cycle Star for green. Play Tower. Scrying for mine. Pass the turn. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to play off of Tron here. Opponent Inquisitions. They're going to take Sphere because we have 3 Stirrings we can't cast. They take Stirrings? Really? Oh, that must mean they have Assassin's Trophy. Yep. Alright, we untap. Draw another Power Plant. Ancient Stirrings. Take Karn. Rest to the bottom. Play Mine. Play Sphere. Crack Sphere for green. Still looking for Tower. We're going to Dismember. We can Ancient Stirrings next turn because we do have a 7-mana threat in hand. Okay, opponent plays Seasoned Pyromancer. They pitch Dreadbore and Engineered Explosives. Alright. Ancient Stirrings. We're going to try and hit a tower first, because this way we can play Karn. Otherwise we could play Power Plant and then play it, or play an Activate Map. There's the tower. Take the tower, rest to the bottom. Play Tower. Play Karn. And with my opponent only having 2 cards in hand, I think I'm going to uptick Karn. Opponent cracks Verdant Catacombs. Gets an Overgrown Tomb tapped. We exile a Wooded Foothills from them. They untap. They go to combat and they attack us for 4, presumably. Yeah. Alright. My opponent Assassin's Trophies Tower, so we cannot cast Ulamog this turn. The jerk. Untap. Draw Sylvan Scrying. I could uptick Karn, but then they would just send 1 token at him. So I think Karn has to downtick this turn and probably has to stop some of the damage here. I could take a land from them in case they do have Bloodbraid, but I think I need to mitigate some of the damage now. Play map. Crack map for tower. Play tower. And I'm going to Sylvan Scrying for a redundant copy of tower. The only land I revealed was Urza's Mine, so possibly if they have another Assassin's Trophy, they hit Power Plant, they have a Bolt. Well, I'm glad I downticked on the creature. We're dead to Bolt, Bloodbraid, or... Okay, opponent attacks us for 2, we go down to 3. Opponent plays Lily, makes us discard. So discard Power Plant. We untap. We draw Chromatic Sphere. Play Sphere. Cycle for green. Sylvan Scrying. Play Tower. Kill Lily. Because otherwise we'll just have to sack Ulamog. Play Ulamog. Get rid of my opponent's red mana. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They draw a card. Inquisition, they take Sylvan Scrying. They go to combat, but no attacks. We untap. We draw a sphere. Play Sphere. Sack Sphere for green. Play Wormcoil. Nuke a land. Go to combat. Yeah. Opponent basically had to draw a red land and a bolt next turn, and that was not possible for them, so we got him. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys in round 3. Alright. Hey, it's Tron. Well, we're gonna keep, because Tron hands are kind of rare for me at the moment. Like, actual Tron hands. It would appear as though my opponent is on Death and Taxes, which is probably bad news considering we need to search our deck next turn. So pray for no Leonin Arbiter. Or Ghost Quarter. There's Field of Ruin. Alright. Sack Star for green. Play Power Plant. Play Sphere. Sack Sphere for green. There's Tower. So let's hope that they field mine. Opponent vials in a 1-drop. It is Giver of Runes. Or, best yet, they don't have a third land. Alright, opponent goes to combat, attacks us for 3. They play another Aether Vial, and another Aether Vial. They don't have another land! Oh, okay, so we actually have a chance here. Play Urza's Tower. Play Karn. Exile Field. Pass the turn. Next turn, we can play and activate O-Stone, and then they got nothing. Alright, Aether Vial's ticking up. They're probably going to have to spend this turn attacking Karn. The only concern would be this is blue-white taxes, and that they've got, like a Flicker Wisp or something they can activate. But even then, that's not that terrible. I could force them to activate by playing Karn, but I'm just going to go O-Stone. Activate. Ah, yes, the old planar cleansing lethal. That hand was very, very optimistic, very pessimistic, and then suddenly this ray of hope optimism. That was pretty great. So we're going to cut an Ulamog because it's a little bit ambitious for a Walking Ballista, just to hopefully have some other early game interaction. And then I'm going to bring in some Nature's Claims. I don't know how good they're going to be. I'm only going to bring in 2, I think. We'll put a Wormcoil in the side just so we can wish for it later. And, yeah. Alright, 2 Tron pieces, lots of good stuff. No green mana. I think I still have to keep simply off of the Strength of Dismember if my opponent does have a Leonin Arbiter, and then they happen to play it at such a time that we get a good Dismember in. I mean, that's good for us. So opponent started Plains, no 1-drop, no Aether Vial, plays Field, plays Thalia. Okay, we untap, draw another tower. This is good. Play Tower. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps, plays Ghost Quarter, goes to combat, attacks us for 2. We take 2. They're going to field a tower. Alright, so dismember Thalia. Field goes off. Get a forest. Opponent gets a plains. We untap. Draw Ancient Stirrings. Ancient Stirrings. We find a tower. It is probably correct to actually take Expedition Map, but I'm going to take the tower and hope that they crack, because they don't have an Aether Vial hand. I'm going to hope that they actually crack on tower here. And we're just going to leave up 2 mana to pay for a potential Arbiter. Okay, opponent plays Sunbaked Canyon. Alright, opponent plays Stoneforge Mystic. They search up Batterskull. They Ghost Quarter our tower. We get another forest. They pass, we draw Expedition Map. Start Ancient Stirrings. We get another tower. Play tower. Play Expedition Map. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Plays a plains. Plays a second Stoneforge Mystic. They get a Sword of Fire and Ice. And then they pass. So we go get Urza's Mine. Untap. Draw Chromatic Sphere. Play Urza's Mine. Play Oblivion Stone. Pass. Yeah. I mean, I could play out Chromatic Sphere and then just crack it as part of activating O-Stone, but... So I guess I'll do that. I could have also played out Wormcoil Engine, but my opponent might have a path, and then we wouldn't be able to activate O-Stone, so if they had a Skyclave Apparition, we'd be in trouble. Opponent has to think about maybe putting in Batterskull. Okay. Opponent puts in Batterskull. I'm still not going to crack on our turn. I'm going to try and do this on my opponent's turn, and I may even take a hit first. Now that I do have to do something about. Alright. They can name Karn Liberated. Or Karn Great Creator. They name Karn Liberated. Play Leonin Arbiter. We untap and draw Wormcoil Engine. So play Power Plant. Play Wormcoil Engine. Play Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. Gonna play Sword. And an Aether Vial. But they got nothing. We untap. Draw Walking Ballista. Sack Star for green. We get an Expedition Map. Play Tower. Play the biggest Walking Ballista you've ever seen. Probably not literally. I know many have seen larger than X7, but X7's pretty hard to deal with. And we get him. That's kind of a lucky Death and Taxes match, because I really thought we were going to be toast, but we just kept drawing towers, and it just kept working. So I'll see you guys in round 4. Alrighty, round 4. Would like to play first. It's a little bit slow, but we have a lot of redundancy. If we happen to draw a Tron land in our first 2 draws, we'll have Tron on turn 3. If anything goes wrong, hopefully we can find whatever we need, because we have so many maps and stuff. Ah, yes! The Tron matchup. Play Tower. Sack Star for green. Yep. We revealed that we didn't even have Tron. Or we didn't even draw Tron off that star. Get an Urza's Mine. Pass the turn. I'm really sad we don't have a Ghost Quarter. This could also be Eldrazi Tron. There's a Maze Mind Tone. Chalice on 1. So this is probably Eldrazi Tron. I regret not being able to play out that map. Play an Urza's Mine. Pass the turn. If we could top deck a tower, that'd be sweet. Great. This is like the nightmare scenario right here. And they can play it, which means we have to draw our own Karn Great Creator now. They shut off tower. We draw Power Plant. That's not enough to do anything, unfortunately. Alright, yep, they got us. Alright, it is definitely Eldrazi Tron, and Nature's Claim does nothing against Chalice. So we don't really even have a sideboard here. I mean, we could still bring in Nature's Claim, but then we make ourselves more susceptible to Chalice, so I think I'm just going to run it back. That's not going to work. That's not going to work either. Yep, going to 4. Alright. Put back Blast Zone. Put back Tower. Put back Stirrings. Start Tower Sphere. At least we know with Simian Spirit Guide gone, they can't turn 1 Chalice us. They start Power Plant. We untap. Draw Sphere. Sack Sphere for green. Get a Forest. Ancient Stirrings. There's a Power Plant. Rest of the bottom. Now the question is, do we play Forest and Ancient Stirrings to try and dodge the turn 2 Chalice? Yeah, I think we do. Urza's mine. Come on. Alright, Karn Great Creator, we'll take it. Rest of the bottom, any order. I could have taken Expedition Map, but I'm so afraid of Chalice right now. Opponent plays Cavern on Eldrazi. Mind Stone. Okay. We untap. Draw Urza's Mine. Play Power Plant. Play Sphere. Crack Sphere for green. Draw Mine. Alright, pass. Opponent plays an Eldrazi Temple. Plays Karn. Wishes with Karn. Getting a Liquid Metal Coating. We untap. Draw Karn Liberated. The vastly superior Karn in this matchup. If I play Karn Great Creator, I have 8 mana. I could get a Walking Ballista, but it'd only be on 2. So, play Karn Liberated. Nuke Karn Great Creator. Pass the turn. Opponent plays another Eldrazi Temple. They're gonna smash some realities. Play an Expedition Map. They kill Karn. We untap. Draw Oblivion Stone. Players is mine. Play Karn. Wish. Get Ensnaring Bridge. Play Ensnaring Bridge. And play O-Stone. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Plays their own Karn. So now Walking Ballista is not a viable win condition. And do I have to wish for Pithing Needle and Pithing Needle my own Karn? I might have to. My opponent probably has a better sideboard than we do. They get Sky Sovereign, which will kill our Karn Great Creator. We untap, draw Karn Liberated, wish with Karn Great Creator. We'll get Pithing Needle, Pithing Needle, Karn Great Creator, play Karn Liberated, uptick on our opponent. If I gotta restart this game, I will. Okay, opponent cannot beat an upticked Karn. Sweet! Whew! Yep. Run it back. This is kind of an almost, but mulligan. Alright, we'll keep. Put back Ancient Stirrings. Let's hope for nothing crazy out of the opponent's opener. Alright, so they start Power Plant. We draw Tower. Play Power Plant, play Sphere. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays Expedition Map. We untap. Draw another Sphere. Sack Sphere for green. We get a Blast Zone. Play Mine. Sylvan Scrying. Get a Tower. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Expedition Map. Gets Tower. Plays Tower. We untap. We draw Ulamog. Players is Tower. Play Karn Great Creator. Wish. Get Liquid Metal Coating. Play Liquid Metal Coating. And play Sphere. Pass the turn. Stop on my opponent's upkeep. Shut off Tower. And the game is over. Whew. I really dislike that matchup because I think Eldrazi Tron is favored. Just because they do more interactive shenanigans on curve, I think. But, alright. I'll see you guys in round 5. See if we can 4-1. Alrighty. Round 5, here we go. I would like to play first. This is a mulligan. This is also a mulligan. Going to 4. I don't like it, but I'm going to keep it. Put back Dismember, Sanctum, and Karn. And we're going to start Urza's Mine, Chromatic Star. Opponent kept a hand to 7, so we're probably in for some fun. Their name is Victorious Champion. Alright, opponent starts Blood Crypt. Inquisition. It's probably Jund, could be Rakdos mid-range. They take Ancient Stirrings. We untap, draw Dismember, cycle Star for green, draw Karn, play Sphere, pass the turn. Oh man, that Thoughtseize / Inquisition was pretty clutch. Alright, it is in fact a Tarmogoyf. We draw a Star, sack Sphere for green, in the old Dismember, pass the turn. Still can't draw lands. Alright, opponent plays Wooded Foothills, cracks Wooded Foothills. They get a Stomping Ground untapped into a Seasoned Pyromancer. They discard a Fatal Push and a Nurturing Paintland and draw 2 new cards. We draw Expedition Map, play Star, pass the turn. Opponent Inquisitions. take map. They crack Wooded Foothills. They get an Overgrown Tomb untapped, going down to 12. I think they were trying to cast Liliana and then didn't realize they only had... Yeah. Alright. They attack us for 3. I think that's what happened. I think my opponent tried to play Liliana there. They dealt 2 damage to us and destroyed Chromatic Star, but it cycled itself. I mean... Alright, pass the turn. Oh, opponent picked up Tarmogoyf is what it was. Yeah, alright. Alright. They got us. So, we'll try the Veil of Summer thing again. Dropping an Ulamog. I don't know about Ballista here. I think I'm actually going to cut a Ballista, and I'm going to try cutting an O-Stone. Wormcoil seems just so good to have in the main deck versus them, because like they have to spend like 3 or 4 cards to actually answer it, usually. And Dismember seems actually good versus the regular Jund list. I mean, we've been using it to kill Tarmogoyfs before they get way too out of hand. And like I said before, you could play Grave Hate instead of a Dismember usually in this matchup. Kind of do the same thing, shrinking Goyfs, but... I think I keep this. I'm not 100% thrilled about it. We'll put back a tower, and we'll start Urza's Tower Expedition map. Pass the turn. We're obviously hoping my opponent does not start Hand Hate for Sylvan Scrying, but they probably have that. Okay, there's the Thoughtseize. Opponent takes Sylvan Scrying. We untap. We draw Karn Liberated. Play a Forest. Get a Power Plant. Pass the turn. Opponent Inquisitions. This time can only take Dismember. Play a Verdant. We untap. We draw a Star. Play Power Plant. Play Star. Sack it for green. Play Map. Pass the turn. I could have kept that in hand if I was more worried about an Artifact Destruction spell, but if they're casting an Artifact Destruction spell this turn, they're not casting a threat, so we're probably fine in that case. Okay. We get a Sylvan Scrying, so get mine. Play mine. Play Karn. And our options are Pithing Needle for Liliana, or like Sundering Titan. I'm going to wish for a Sundering Titan, because if I play Sundering Titan, I get rid of all of their mana. So they have to have an Assassin's Trophy to interrupt our mana base. They can try play Liliana, we would just discard Karn. Bolt on Karn, Great Creator, Assassin's Trophy on a land would be the worst case scenario. They get a Stomping Ground, untapped. Fulminator. Yep, I did not count on Fulminator. So we have to hope to draw whatever they blow up. There's always the chance they F6 through their turn and don't blow up anything by overthinking it, so... They hit mine. We untap. Draw Expedition Map. Play Expedition Map. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Plays a Raging Ravine. And scoops! That was a really scary Expedition Map. I mean, obviously they scooped because we knew they knew we had Sundering Titan, and Sundering Titan was going to blow up all but 2 of their lands. So, and none of ours. Yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. If my opponent doesn't start Hand Hate, I might start Forest just to leave up Veil of Summer. But if they start Hand Hate, we'll start Power Plant Star, or Mine Star, one of those. Opponent mulligan to 5. That's probably good news for us. They start Verdant Catacombs. They crack Verdant Catacombs for an Overgrown Tomb. And Inquisition. They can take whatever they want. Probably Sylvan Scrying. There's an argument to be made for taking Chromatic Star here. Okay. So, players is mine. Play Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. Opponent does not know that we have a second Urza's Mine in hand. They play a Wooded Foothills. They crack Wooded Foothills for a Blood Crypt. Untapped. They play Renin 6. Picking up a land. That's going to really help undo their mulligans very quickly. So, sack Star for green. Draw Star. Play Star. Play Power Plant. Pass the turn. Basically, we're going to leave up Veil of Summer for anything that would target our permanents or us. Opponent picks up another land. They play Goyf. They play a fetch land. Alright. We untap. We draw Wormcoil. Sack for green. Draw Ulamog. Play Sphere. Sack for green. Ancient Stirrings. Take Expedition Map. Rest of the bottom. Play a Forest. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Wooded Foothills. Getting an Overgrown Tomb tapped. They untap. They pick up their land. They play Lily. Okay. They uptick. So we're going to discard Sanctum here. Opponent discards Blackcleave Cliffs. They go to combat. Attack us for 3. I would really like to draw a tower off the top. Opponent plays Wooded Foothills. Passes. We draw Power Plant. Alright. So there's no way to do this and preserve our green mana, I guess. Play Expedition Map. Play Power Plant. Pass the turn. So my logic here is we're basically going to try and cast Ulamog, which is pretty risky, but we should have the mana to do it. We can get around 1 Assassin's Trophy effect, but we can't get around 2. Alright. Expedition Map. Get Tower. Then Veil, so they can't target us this turn. We get Karn. Ashiok resolves. They could mill themselves. Okay, they're going to make us discard. I am going to discard Urza's Mine. Opponent discards Verdant Catacombs. They uptick Renin 6. They play a land. They hit us for 4. We go to 13. They did not mill themselves. They don't have the mana for Assassin's Trophy. Oh, they did mill themselves just after the fact. Okay, we draw Wormcoil. Play a tower. Play Ulamog. Nuke the Planeswalker that can answer our creature and the Planeswalker that's about to ult. Play Ulamog. Pass the turn. Opponent mills us. Inquisition completely whiffs. They play Fulminator. So they can nuke a land to keep us from casting our stuff. But they're still dead in like 2 swings of Ulamog. So go to combat. Attack our opponent. Exile half their deck. They go to 2. Untap. We've hit all of their lilies. There are no edicts left. They mill us, and they scoop. Hail Mary to Ulamog. That's how we win the game. Woo! 4-1. Let's open some treasure chests. Alright, treasure chest number 1. 20 play points and a Ward of Bones. Treasure chest number 2. 10 play points and Regal Force. Treasure chest number 3. 25 play points and an Infinite Obliteration. Treasure chest number 4. 5 play points, a Spike Tiller, and an Elderfang Ritualist. And last but not least, treasure chest number 5. 10 play points and a Detection Tower. Alright, so, let me open up this Tron list again. We'll talk about it here briefly. And, so I do want to mention that we definitely won a match versus one of the Jund players because we had Sundering Titan in the sideboard. I want to be clear that Sundering Titan is very important. Honestly, now I know Dredge is an incredibly difficult matchup, and if I take out any piece of Grave Hate from the side, I would probably get rid of either Relic of Progenitus or Tormod's Crypt, and put 1 Weather the Storm in the match or in the sideboard to help with the burn matchup, because that feels like this list's weakest point right now. I'm very happy with how this list did. I think this is a very, very solid list in its current configuration. And obviously, the biggest thing with playing Tron right now in any sort of Moto League is paying attention to the modern metagame and playing the basically playing the right sideboard. There's not too much wiggle room in the current main deck area. I mean, there is and there isn't, but like generally if you're playing Tron, you're going to play a list that's pretty close to this one. And I mean, like, the only cards that should really be changing is like this stack right here. Everything else you should probably be playing exactly what I'm playing. Minus any particular metagame consideration you have. If you're playing in a paper tournament somewhere, which I'm not even sure if it's a thing right now, and you're not worried about Ghost Quarter, Field of Ruin, that sort of thing, you can drop a Forest, and you can change it out for like a Nurturing Peatland or a Horizon Canopy just to have a cycle land. Probably a Nurturing Peatland because you do play Dismember, and that cheapens the cost by 1 life, which could matter. And I mean, if you're not playing the 4th Wormcoil, you're probably playing a Thragtusk. If you're not playing Ballista or Dismember, you're probably playing Spatial Contortion in main. Same with O-Stone. Like, those are the cards that are only the cards that are going to actually be changed around. And then in the sideboard, it's just going to be, you know, more anti-control if you have control, like a Fourth Veil of Summer. It's going to be more Spatial Contortions and Weather the Storms if you're going up against aggro more frequently. And it's going to be more Grave Hate if you're going up against Dredge a lot. And right now, I feel like that's how you play Tron. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. And remember, you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though the last few have been earlier. And the last stream that we had was really, really good. I'm very, very happy with the reaction to the Dragonstorm video yesterday. Lots of people really enjoyed it. And the deck way outperformed my expectations. I will probably do a revisit to that deck soon, because there's some things I want to change about it to try and make it better, see if it improves. I talked about a few of the updates towards the end in the deck, like the final wrap-up portion of the video, but I think that's all I got. I want you to know that you're all wonderful human beings, and thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I'm almost to monetization, and that's the big goal. And then after that, I will shut up about subscribers basically forever, unless it's to thank you guys, because you guys are awesome. Other than that, I don't really have that much, so I hope you have a good night. Bye!